Yellowstone National Park is, honestly, one of the most breathtaking landscapes on Earth. Geysers shooting into the sky, hot springs glowing in these impossible colors, and wildlife just roaming freely across vast plains. But, beneath all this beauty lies one of nature's most powerful forces, the Yellowstone Supervolcano. Before diving into the discovery, it's important to understand what makes Yellowstone unique. So, what is a supervolcano? Well, a supervolcano is a volcano capable of producing eruptions thousands of times larger than your typical volcanic activity. Instead of those cone-shaped peaks you might picture, supervolcanoes form these massive calderas, giant craters left behind after cataclysmic explosions. Yellowstone has erupted 3 times in the last 2.1 million years. 2.1 million, 1.3 million, and about 640,000 years ago. Each event reshaped North America's landscape and, honestly, left some pretty lasting geological scars. The Yellowstone caldera today stretches over 30 by 45 miles. Its size makes it impossible to see from the ground. Only satellites can really capture its full scale. Why the red alert? When geologists use the phrase red alert in this context, it doesn't mean evacuation or panic. It's more like a scientific red flag, a call for urgent monitoring, more research funding, and honestly, global collaboration. The alert was issued for 3 main reasons. First, increased seismic swarms. Clusters of small earthquakes, called swarms, have been more frequent. While these are pretty common in Yellowstone, the intensity of recent swarms signals increased movement of fluids and gases underground. Second, ground deformation. GPS satellites recorded parts of the park rising several inches over a short period, then sinking again. This breathing effect suggests magma and hydrothermal fluids are shifting. And third, hydrothermal changes. New steam vents and shifting geyser patterns have been documented. One dormant geyser even reactivated for the first time in decades, reminding scientists just how dynamic the system is. What if Yellowstone erupted? This is the question that captures headlines. But, it's important to separate Hollywood myths from actual geological realities. Super eruptions are honestly extremely rare. The chances of a super eruption happening in our lifetime are astronomically low. More likely scenarios include small hydrothermal explosions, where steam builds up and bursts through rock. There could also be lava flows or minor eruptions, which might damage local infrastructure but wouldn't be globally catastrophic. And while changes in geyser activity can dramatically reshape parts of the park, but these aren't life-threatening on a global scale. Scientists emphasize that Yellowstone is not overdue. Volcanoes simply don't work like clockwork. Each eruption depends on unique conditions. Why does Yellowstone matter so much? Well, because it's a living laboratory for studying Earth's inner workings. Seismic imaging reveals how magma moves. Gas emissions show how pressure builds. And thermal scans track changes in heat flow. By combining these tools, scientists can create models to predict possible outcomes, not with exact dates but with ranges of likelihood. The new data honestly pushes those models forward by decades. Yellowstone is not the only supervolcano on Earth. Others include Toba in Indonesia, which erupted about 74,000 years ago and actually caused global cooling. There's also Campi Flegrei in Italy. It's still active and located near Naples, with millions living nearby. And Taupo in New Zealand produced one of the most violent eruptions in the last 5,000 years. By studying Yellowstone alongside these sites, geologists can piece together how supervolcano systems function and why some remain quiet for millennia while others show signs of unrest. What the public should know is that Yellowstone's latest findings are honestly fascinating, but they really shouldn't inspire fear. Instead, these discoveries just highlight how important science and preparation are. Monitoring saves lives because Yellowstone is, one of the most closely watched volcanoes in the world. Any significant changes would be detected pretty quickly. Preparedness is key. The U.S. Geological Survey and the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory run constant surveillance, from satellites to on-the-ground instruments. Tourism remains safe. Millions visit Yellowstone every year, and scientists emphasize that the park is still safe to explore, with risks no greater than other natural wonders like earthquakes or hurricanes. Part of Yellowstone's allure is really about the contrast between beauty and danger. People marvel at Old Faithful's eruptions without realizing they're standing right on top of a massive volcanic system. The idea that something so calm on the surface hides unimaginable energy below, well, it just captures the imagination like few places on Earth. Writers, filmmakers, and storytellers often dramatize Yellowstone as the ticking time bomb. But geologists urge balance, awe, respect, and curiosity, not panic. The road ahead honestly is pretty exciting. The red alert means a new chapter in Yellowstone research. Scientists plan to expand seismic networks for finer detail, drill core samples to analyze rock temperatures and compositions, use artificial intelligence to process decades of data and identify hidden patterns, and share findings internationally, since supervolcanoes are, a global concern. In the end, the more we know, the safer we become. The discovery beneath Yellowstone isn't a prophecy of doom, it's a reminder of Earth's living, breathing power. The ground beneath us is never still. Volcanoes, earthquakes, and shifting plates are all part of the same story, a planet in motion. For Yellowstone, the latest research is a wake-up call for science, not fear. It shows us that even in the most beautiful places, the forces shaping our world are always at work. As one geologist put it, Yellowstone doesn't threaten us with fear, it teaches us humility. It reminds us that we live on a planet alive with fire beneath its skin. The supervolcano sleeps for now, and with every discovery, we learn how to listen more closely to the heartbeat of the Earth itself.